Alright, first things first, as some of you may know by now, there was some kind of accident after Slammiversary went off the air on Sunday night. Apparently something went wrong when the ring crew was taking down the lights, and two men were seriously hurt, and one of them actually ended up dying from his injuries. And I know we all like to talk a lot of shit here on YouTube, but we never want anybody to get injured, much less killed. So I just wanted to take a second here and send my well wishes out to those men and their families. I didn't become a wrestling fan to watch people get hurt, and just because we didn't watch this happen doesn't make it any better. So, there it is. So, Slammiversary is gonna suck, is it? It's only a 5-match show. The card is weak. There's no way it'll be better than One Night Stand. Well, you know what? All you TNA naysayers out there can kiss my ass, just like Slammiversary just kicked yours. What a great show. From top to bottom, I think this was one of the best pay-per-views TNA has had in months. I would say this was better than Sacrifice, better than Lockdown, both of which I liked a lot. You know, there was a ton of good stuff about this show, so I'm just going to start at the beginning and work my way to the end. First of all, my favorite match of the night, Kaz and Petey Williams. I told you guys this match was going to kick a whole lot of ass, and TNA did not make a liar out of me. This was an awesome opener with great action. I was a little worried they might have to work around Petey's injury, but he was good to go. Both guys brought it. And what I really loved about this match was that this was the best kind of match because it managed to put over both guys. You still had a winner and a loser, but Kaz looked so strong in defeat. He took a lead pipe shot to the head, blood all over his face, and then he still kicked out of a pin attempt. Then he powered out of a sharpshooter, fought off interference from Steiner and Rockacon, and he still almost won the match. So Petey keeps the title, but Kaz gets put over huge, and it looks like he might be partnering with the returning Abyss now against Steiner and Petey. Beautiful. Next we had the Knockouts match, rock solid 6-woman tag. I liked what I saw from Mickey Knuckles, the newly christened Moose. Not crazy about her new name. I mean, you know, why call her Mickey Knuckles on Impact if they were just gonna change her name 72 hours later? You know, that didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. And seriously, Moose. What were Archie and Jughead copyrighted? Moose. Whatever. Good action from the women. The babyfaces got the cathartic win for some payback on the beautiful people. No complaints so far. The tag title match. Again, very solid, very entertaining. I'm really enjoying the addition of Hector Guerrero to LAX. And if this is what it took for LAX to finally get a push, I don't know why they didn't add him to the group sooner. Slammiversary is 3 for 3. Then came the Awesome Kong thing. Now, Chantel Taylor didn't show up like I predicted, but this was still a great segment. This whole fan challenge angle is really starting to pick up some steam now because every week they're adding new twists to it. You know, for the first 2 weeks it was just Kong fighting some generic plant in the crowd. In the third week, some recognizable indie wrestlers showed up, and the one that Kong chose actually got to fight back a little bit. This time, the woman that Kong chose got in a little more offense, and then the second woman hopped the rail and she got in even more. So every week the challengers are getting a little bit tougher. So you can definitely see this angle is building up to something. Whether that's Chantel Taylor or something else remains to be seen, but the progression of this angle beats the living hell out of the Master Lock Challenge, which was all about continuation and no progression whatsoever. Next was the wedding angle. Now, I'm sure this was a bathroom break to a lot of people, and I even went on record saying that I don't like wedding angles in general, so I was anticipating this mostly just to see Sanjay's heel turn. And, that heel turn happened finally. It was months in the making. Played out logically without any weird swerves like I hoped it would, so that's something, I guess. And granted, I mean, this segment was not great by any means, or even good, but seriously, guys, it could have been a lot worse. I mean, I know we were all dreading Ace Young singing, but he never even got a chance to. Instead, he actually got beaten up by Sanjay. I got a chuckle out of that. And it didn't take up too much time like I was afraid it would, too, so, that could have been worse, I guess. In fact, the real reason there were only 6 matches announced for this show was not because the wedding angle was going to be too long, but because the double main event comprised over an hour. And they were 2 great matches, too. I mean, AJ and Angle didn't disappoint. I mean, I, like many of you, groaned when Karen Angle came out. but, you know, her whole involvement in that match lasted about 20 seconds. You know, she teased giving Kurt the chair, and then she didn't, and that was it. So it was actually a kind of a nice callback to Angle's match with Joe last year, when, you know, they made Joe believe that he drove them apart, and then they double-crossed him, and Karen pretended to give him the chair, and then she took it away, leading to Angle getting the pin on Joe. And I've heard some people on here kind of bash this match, saying it didn't live up to expectations. But, I mean, come on, what were you guys expecting out of this? I mean, Kurt just came back from a neck injury, and him and AJ still put on a great show. And plus, this feud is just getting started. I mean, they couldn't give you everything the first time out. They gotta save something for Bound for Glory. And seriously, I mean, if the worst thing you can say about a match is that it was only very good, that's not exactly a terrible thing. And finally, we had the King of the Mountain match, and okay, it might not have been the greatest King of the Mountain match of all time, but they've all been great up to this point, so that's kind of damning it with faint praise. You know, there was some awesome effort in this match. You had Joe diving over the ropes onto everybody, Christian, you know, doing a crossbody off the cage. There were plenty of spots off the ladder. You know, maybe there weren't as many oh my god spots as in previous years or in the X Division King of the Mountain from Impact last week, but this was still a great, exciting match. And it's going to have a lot of meaning in the history books, too, because Joe is now the first world champion in history to ever retain the title in the King of the Mountain. So overall, you know, a terrific pay-per-view. I was very happy with it, which is not to say it was perfect. I mean, the wedding angle did what it needed to do as far as Sanjay's heel turn goes, but it was hardly the greatest thing ever. And the Eric Young Elvis thing? Absolutely pointless. All those video packages over all those weeks were building up to a 2-minute bit where some random Elvis impersonator comes out and gets destroyed by Awesome Kong? Ridiculous. This was the bathroom break of Slammiversary. The best thing you can say about that segment was that it was over quickly. So, you know, disregarding those two brief stupidities, what's the final verdict on Slammiversary? Well, 5 great matches, 2 great squashes, 1 long-awaited heel turn? That's way more than the WWE gives you! If you didn't see Slammiversary, order the replay. Thank you, TNA, for this great show. That's all I've got. Good night, good luck, lots of other good things. See ya.